Now, let me give you a little bit more good news, I guess context. So let's talk about Michigan over the past few years. In 2018, Dems flipped 2 House seats, kept a Senate seat, and elected a Democratic governor. Last year, they knocked on more than 85,000 doors. In the August state primary, Democratic turnout was at a record high. And as many people have pointed out, while there is obviously an enthusiasm gap in terms of wanting to vote for Joe Biden, over the past few years, we have had quite a few elections that have demonstrated that Dems want to vote against Trump. So I don't like that as your principal strategy, but that doesn't mean that it isn't going to be at least somewhat effective. However, in Michigan in particular, let's take a look at the sort of polling period over the past few months. Biden is still leading by a few points, but you can see that it has narrowed. Now it has narrowed before and then widened. We can't say for sure exactly how things are gonna work out, but it's still closer than I would want it to be, And Hillary lost by, was it 10,000 votes, I think in 2016? Like, I don't want another squeaker like that, especially in an election where Trump is getting ready and Fox News is getting ready to claim that anything other than an incredible blowout is illegitimate, and in fact, possibly even a blowout would be. They have to take this seriously. They still have 2 months. You have $1 billion. You can send people to Michigan and begin knocking on doors. You can sign up volunteers. If you want volunteers, there's a lot of progressives that were you to make a few policy concessions, you might get them to start pounding the pavement for you. They've done it for other races. This report is not coming out 2 months after the election. It's coming out 2 months before the election. It could be a cautionary tale rather than, like a repeat of 2016. But I hope that their campaign is listening. They're actually going to do something about this. Whether Biden cares enough, someone on his campaign has got to do better.
Yeah, and one final thing about this, earlier in the week, there was a story involving Bernie Sanders. It started off with a piece in the Washington Post where people close to Sanders shared that he's concerned about how Biden's performing and really wants Biden to shift his focus on the bread and butter issues that really do motivate young voters to get involved and show up to the polls. And it's, just focus on wages, focus on jobs, focus on the climate and the environment, like things that people actually want to see change toward. And, of course, you have the corporate Democrats who think that, this is just Bernie and his camp being overly critical of Biden. No, people are panicking because they want to beat Trump. And you need to shift your focus on things that inspire people to vote. This whole, campaign has really been about, well, I'm better than Trump. Trump is awful, but I'm better. Okay, but how? How are you better? Right? Be specific. Talk about your policies. Talk about how they're better than Trump's. Talk about what you're gonna do about wages. Talk about what you wanna do about the environment. Look, part of the problem is Biden's policies don't go far enough, but they are demonstrably better than Trump's. So explain how. Don't just, dedicate the entire Democratic National Convention to how you're more empathetic than Trump. Yeah, I care about that, but that's not the end all be all. That's not gonna inspire people to go out and vote.
Exactly. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.